Hi you guys, it's Anna aka Makeup by E. Marie, and a lot of you requested a tutorial on an easy, everyday, natural kind of look. So here it is, I did it for you. Just a simple look with some mascara, some lip gloss, and a put together face with a natural sweet beat. So I'm going to show you guys my everyday routine, but I'm actually going to tone it down a little bit from back when I was a beginner. So the first thing I'm going to do, well actually just wash my face and span, and I actually use a moisturizer. The moisturizer that I use is called Olay Total Effects 7-in-1. I'm just now trying it, but they say to use anti-aging moisturizers when you're already young, so that's what I'm doing. And it's really important that before you're doing your makeup, you're always priming and prepping your skin. Take your favorite primer, put it all over your face. So the primer that I like to use is Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I really like it, makes your makeup last long. So I'm just gonna take a little bit, like that much, and I'm just gonna spread it all over my face. And I like to just do it with my fingers because I feel like it just gets in every little crevice. And I'm gonna spread that around. What primer does is basically fills in any little holes or kind of makes your skin like one even surface. It helps with the longevity of the makeup, and also many of them help minimize pores. So people buy different primers according to the kind of skin they have, but you could just go ahead and use your favorite primer. Some people don't even use primer. Okay, I actually want to show you guys what a beauty blender looks like before you wet it. Mine's dirty, I'm about to go clean it, but this is the size of it when it's totally dry. I'm gonna go submerge it and dampen it and show you what it looks like. So what I did was I let the faucet water run over my beauty blender, and I completely squeeze it and let it fill, submerge completely with water. I know it gets like a lot of gray area with the whole damp it, how damp, how wet. So this is what I do. Let it run under the water, and I squeeze it in and out until it completely fills with water, and it basically triples in size. You see how big it is now? And when I squeeze it, still a little bit of water will sprinkle out. So that's how damp I like it. I don't know how other people really like it, but I think it works best this way. So now that I did that, I'm gonna go with my favorite foundation right now, MAC Studio Fix Fluid. This is not technically my color, but it's the one that I have, and it's the one that I'm gonna waste for this tutorial anyway. But I like the finish that it leaves my skin, so that's why I'm gonna use it. I think it makes my skin look nice. And I'm just gonna put my hair back. Just pour that right onto my hand. And I'm gonna do actually a little bit at a time, so I'm not wasting any product. And I use the bottom of my beauty blender, just dip that right in, and dab it into your face. So you wanna take it, not drag it, but dab it, just like that. So this technique kind of gives you a flawless coverage, makes it look very airbrushed, and also it makes the makeup kind of penetrate your face and not just sit on the surface of your skin. Also, the reason the beauty blender is my absolute favorite tool is because it's damp. It doesn't leave any excess makeup all over your face, so it gives you the perfect amount that you need, and it really eliminates that cakey look. So you can go ahead and use your favorite concealer. I'm gonna give you guys two different options if you want to know what I use. So one of my all-time favorite concealers is this one right here. It's MAC Pro Longwear. It never focuses, but it's MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and the shade that I use is NC20. I honestly just use one pump, so I'm gonna take one pump, and that's what I'm gonna use for my whole entire face. Or you can also use let me find it for you guys. Or another more inexpensive alternative is LA Girl Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer, and this shade is creamy beige. It's a really popular shade. I even use it for clients a lot darker than me to get a strong highlight. For darker clients, I could use like Fawn, the color Fawn. If you're like, let's say Gabrielle Union or a shade like that, Fawn is a nice one to highlight as well. But it's really inexpensive, and it's a great concealer, great to use. But the MAC Pro Longwear is the one that I'm going to use. It's just my day-to-day. And what I'm going to do is on the other side of my beauty blender, the pointy side, I'm just going to dab it underneath my eyes. Very simple, very easy, just like that. Now let's say you don't have a beauty blender, you can buy the Real Techniques beauty blender, and that is another inexpensive alternative. And I think it's an orange beauty blender, and it's really good, I heard. But I'm just gonna go ahead and dab it under my eyes. So that's how you're gonna just get a highlight. Mine is really bright because I like a bright highlight. But this is what you guys could do at home, just quick and easy, step by step, for an everyday kind of look. You see, it kind of brings your face up. And then just with whatever is left over, I'm going to put it on the opposite end actually, and just dab it on the other of my areas of my face that I kind of want to brighten. And my forehead too. If you want to use a brush, let's say, you can use a brush like this right here. So that's the tip of what it looks like. And it is, you see how it comes, the brushes are short on the end and it comes to a point, which is really precise to get it underneath your eye. And this is an E32 brush by Sigma. And you can just dab it underneath until you're completely blended out. I personally like to use a beauty blender. So anyway, now I got my highlight done. So you want to take any powder that you use. What I like to do is use a translucent powder. The one that I use is Laura Mercier. MAC is also great, and also Makeup Forever HD translucent powder is really good. So I'm using Laura Mercier, and I'm going to take a fluffy brush like this one right here. And this is actually Sephora fluffy brush, whatever one you want to use, whatever one floats your boat. And I'm going to take a little bit of my translucent powder, dip it in. You see there's a lot on the brush. You don't want to put that all over your face. So dip it into the cap, and it's going to give you an even layer of it on the brush. And then dust it all over your face, everywhere. And you want to make sure you get it in all the crevices. So just dust that everywhere, dip back into the cap. Perfecto. Make sure to get it underneath your eyes, because that's where you just put your concealer, and your concealer will move throughout the day if you don't set it. So what this is doing is it's setting it, and I'm putting a light layer all over my face. Now you want to be very careful to not put way too much on your face, because then in pictures it's going to come out like you're super white, and you don't want that either. But that's basically gonna set your entire face. Now the next step that I like to do, I usually use a mineralized skin finish by MAC to put on top of my translucent powder. But I actually don't have that because I usually bake my face, and I usually do a lot of other steps that are just more advanced. But because this is a more natural, easy tutorial, I don't have it. But I'm just gonna use any old powder that's in my kit. So I'm going to take some of this e.l.f. It's like a little foundation powder, whatever, and I'm going to just lightly dust it and put that all over my face. So that's what you would do at home with any powder that's your natural skin color, and dust that all over. I'm going to do that. And the reason I recommend MAC Skin Finish is because, one, it's very lightweight, very sheer, and it's going to even everything out so it's all one color. Next step I'm going to do, take your favorite bronzer. I'm going to use my actual contour kit, but you can take your favorite bronzer. So whatever bronzer you use at home. You could also use matte bronze, Hoola bronzer, whatever it is. And then take a brush. I'm going to take a brush, it's this one right here. It's actually a Sigma F10 brush, and I'm going to dip it into my contour kit. So I kind of mixed all three of these bottom shades to contour with, and I like to start with this shade right here, kind of to blend it all together because it's lighter than the rest. So I'm going to dip it into there, dust it off, and go make a fish face, follow those lines to just apply your contour. You want this part to be darker and to glide in. like ombre. You don't want just one sideburn. And go ahead and brush it onto your temples too, very lightly. I'm using really lightweight feathery strokes on my face. I'm not like packing on super powder, because then it's going to be hard for you to blend. And you always want to start with a little bit of product on your face. You don't want to start with a lot, because then it's hard to take off, because you could always apply small amounts and then build it to the darkness that you want. But once you put a lot on, you can't really take it off. So now that I have that, I kind of contoured my face somewhat. Just like that. Simple contour. I didn't even do a nose contour, none of that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just take any highlight of your choice. If you have a contour kit, it comes with one right up there. So that's what I'm going to use today. I'm going to be using my Sigma F35. It's a tapered brush, which I love to kind of get right where you need it to do a highlight. And I'm going to dip it into here and just apply a soft little highlight onto right on the top of my cheekbones, just like that. Just like so. And on the other side. So you want this to be the brightest. And then I also like to dust a little bit on my nose. So I'm just gonna go back and forth really, really lightly. Some people don't like this step. If you're not for it, then just skip it. But I like to do it. And then another thing that I like to do is highlight my lip. Now, if you're around my shade, many good highlighters for us would be like Soft and Gentle, Soft and Gentle by MAC Cosmetics. You could use Champagne Pop. Champagne Pop also works for darker complexions as well. There's actually a lot of highlighters. And then if you have darker skin, you can use Champagne Pop, Lorac Tantalizer, Cheeky Bronze by MAC. So there's many good highlighters out there. Using a Sigma F15, it's a dual fiber blush brush, and my personal favorite blush right now is Peaches by MAC Cosmetics. So I'm just gonna dip into my blush a little bit, tap it out, and I like to start by the apples of my cheeks and then kind of brush it upward in between my highlight and my contour. So I'm just gonna do that very lightly in small strokes, just like that. And I love this blush because I feel like it really warms up your face and just gives you such a summery glow. Just love it. Okay, so go ahead, pop on your favorite lip gloss. I'm using Pink Lemonade by MAC. Just like that. And then for my eyebrows, I wanted to keep it really simple for you guys, so I'm just gonna go and brush them into place, just like that, just to keep things really simple for you guys. After you're done brushing your brows into place, go ahead and take a pencil brush like this and dip it into the same powder that you used to highlight. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip it into my contour kit, and then right where your brow bone is, just go ahead and highlight it. And that's gonna give your brows some definition without even having to fill them in or anything like that. And so there you have it. And then the next final thing, what I'm going to do is put on my favorite mascara. It's Lash Blast Volume by CoverGirl. And how I apply it, tilt my head back, I know I'm a weirdo, and go like that. Basically, start from root to tip and wiggle. Okay, there you have it. I chose to not even acknowledge the fact that I got it on my skin because I just don't want to ruin my happiness like that. but I like to just wait till it dries and then kind of peel it off like that. Oh, I just hate when this happens. Go ahead and blend it with your finger. Blend it till it disappears on top too. Could probably get away with it because I have freckles. So here's the finished look. It's just a very simple, everyday look, good for school